Hello and welcome to Take Two Tuesday. How is everyone doing today? Welcome. This is Ken here at the Stamps of Life. I actually just made it just in time. I see it's 10 o'clock. I was scrambling like crazy. It's been a kind of fun, crazy morning, but I am here. I think everything is working so far. Let me double check. I saw that the YouTube is working, and yep, hi, welcome. I see everybody there over at Rich and Bonnie, Diane, Gloria, hi, Amanda, Creating Blessings with Cheryl. Welcome everyone. Happy Tuesday to all of you. How is everybody doing today? We are here in Southern California, the South Orange County area, and I'm so happy to have you here with me. This is Take Two Tuesday. If this is your first time watching one of these episodes, again, my name's Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. We are a card making, stamping, die cutting company. We love to make cards, and we have all our friends here who are also card makers or maybe scrapbook page makers, but we have the products that help you to make those great cards. And so welcome to all of you here on Take Two Tuesday. What we like to do is the Stamps of Life. We've been around since 2009, so we are coming up on anniversary 15, and we have a big selection of stamps, dies. Well, we have a lot of things from the past that some of you have purchased, so when we do Take Two, this means we're going to take a second look at some of those items to be a little reminder to you, a refresher that if you have these items, you might want to take them out and use them. And so that will be part of it. And then for many of you who are new to the Stamps of Life, this will be a chance maybe for you to, let me see what I can do over here, for you to see some stamps and dies, some items that will kind of seem new to you because you're new to our company. So maybe you've only watched the first few last year or two, and you've only caught up on the releases, our new additions to our website over that time period. Well, you don't know about some of these things. So this is our chance to kind of review some of those things, and we'll take a look at some card samples. Hang on, something's wrong with my computer over here. I can't seem to find my mouse. There it is. We will review these items. We'll look at some cards that were created by our design team, Stamps of Life design team. Oh, let's see if I can fix that. I always have these things that when I haven't done this for a while that, no, we don't want that. Oh, I know. There we are. So there's my name, Ken at the Stamps Life. And we'll review these things. I think I'll just die cut a couple things today. We will have a little bit of a chat. I should have thought of some good questions. I'll have to come up with something while we're taking a look at these items. I have the first item, well, I'll wait till we get there, but we'll go through a few different items here, and then at the end I have, I think, a short little video that will kind of be part of our good news segment, and then we will read from our Bibles. If you have a Bible, Mark chapter 10. Again, we'll be finishing up where they brought the children to Jesus and he kind of welcomes them and bless them. There's just one more thing I wanted to say about that. It'll be pretty short, but we'll do that at the end. And in the meantime, we're just going to try to have some fun. So let's get things rolling here. I think everything is going. I only see Deb over there on Facebook, so I hope that there are some other people watching. If you don't normally join in the chat, I want to make sure you do that. Jump in the chat. Post that you're watching, or if you have any questions. I can't always see everything in the chat, but I would love to hear from you. And what else? This is especially important, that if you, after this video, if you're watching later, if you have any questions or comments, definitely post in our comment section. That helps us. We will try our best to respond to you. And it helps us also get a little bit more noticed on Facebook and YouTube, and hopefully they'll send our videos out to more people, so more people can find out about Stephanie, the Stamps of Life, and all the fun that we're having here. So it really helps if you comment, if you hit the like buttons, if you like it, or share buttons. That is all awesome. I see a lot of you are at work, so that's cool. If you can figure out a way to work and watch a video like this, good for you. And yeah, I think that is about it. Let's see what's going on new. Oh, tomorrow, or actually tonight, we have a big release. Tomorrow is, can you believe it, May 1st already. So we're going to be at the first of the month. That means if you are a Stamp Club member, Die Hard Club member, we're going to have a brand new shipment going out for you. Oh, I better make sure I turn that off real quick. Hang on. Stamps and dies will be going out tomorrow morning. I will be getting up bright and early, and I'm going to get that shipment in the mail. It'll probably be in the mail like by 7:30 tomorrow morning, and those stamps and dies will be going out to you. So that will be exciting. So brand new release for our clubs. Let's see what else is going on here. That's working. That's good for our clubs. And then I'm going to try to fix that a little bit. Club shipment. And then tonight we have like the bundle coming out. Lots of great fun stuff I've seen that Stephanie has created that you're going to like. And when you see all the ideas and stuff from the videos that we'll have a couple videos released tonight. It should be a lot of fun. So I am a little bit, no, sorry, Stephanie, no sneak peeks. I'm not allowed to do that. Stephanie is in charge of sneak peeks, my wife, Stephanie. And unless I get authorization for that, I do not allow any sneak peeks. Just joking. But no, I don't have any sneak peeks with me. I think all the card samples are probably at our home office. Let me fix something over here real quick. I always forget this. Hang on. Be right back. The sun is starting to come up earlier, and we have less clouds lately, so we're starting to get more sunlight coming in through the front area. I want to make sure that doesn't come in too much while we're doing our video. Let's see what else. So for me, I just barely got here because this morning my friend who works at UPS, his name's Mike, he retired today, and they had a little breakfast for him at the company. He worked there 34 years. So it was exciting. I got to go visit with a bunch of guys that have retired from the past. I left there about 10, 12 years ago, but it was great. We got to catch up with some of the guys. Mike got his award and his family was there, and I'm sure they're all thrilled and excited to have retirement. And when you work at UPS, it really takes a lot out of your life. You put in a lot of hours and long days. Good job, and I'm really grateful for it, but it really kind of puts a lot of demand on your family, and it eliminates a lot of your extra free time and stuff. Again, everything is good at the company, and I liked working there, took care of my family, and that was awesome. But when you get to retire, it just kind of opens up your world to a lots more freedom and opportunities, things you get to do. So I'm excited for Mike that he gets to enjoy that with his family, and it is kind of like a family retirement because it kind of weighs a lot on your family when you work at UPS. But we are grateful for jobs and opportunities like that, and I had a lot of fun at UPS and a lot of great people there, and it was fun to see other guys who had retired that were at that little gathering this morning, and we got to catch up a little bit. And then I zoomed back over here just in time. I think I was running everything together really super quick, and by the time I actually sat down and said I'm ready to go, it was 10 o'clock, so at least we're on time. Okay, we will get started now. The first item I have, now this is really special because this is super limited. I only have one of these, but I just wanted to share it with you just because it kind of gives an idea of our, this is a stencil, how you can use stencils. So I wanted to show it off. Hang on, I think there's one more sample over here that I have lost. Maybe. No. Oh, maybe it's in here. Yeah, I found it. Or a couple. So this one is called our paw print stencil. How many of these do I have? This is the last one I have. and I've checked the website. I've checked our shelves. I've looked everywhere. I don't have any more of these. This is the last one. So if you think you would like it, you're going to have to email the office. info@thestampsoflife. It's $7.99 regular price. I think if you're a club member, it's $6.79, and it'd be like $1.50 to ship it. So the first person, if anybody wants it, just email Faylene at the office. Say you want the paw print stencil, and again, it'll just be first come, first serve. If anybody wants it, this is my last one, okay? And I'm going to show you some of the card samples. This is not even on the website anymore, so you can't find samples. If you scrolled around, you'd probably see it being used somewhere. But this is the last one I have. It's not on the website. I can't find any other ones. So again, it'll be a first come, first serve. If somebody wants it, email the office and we will get it sent out to you. This was made in, I think it was like 2019 or something. So that's about when we first started doing stencils way back then. Now we do have, give me 1 second. Oh, and I see I don't have my second mic hooked up. So let me get that fixed real quick. There's my mic, and I have to connect that for when we switch cameras. Come on now. Whoops. Are you gonna light up? There's that one. Okay, I'll get these connected. This is for when I go to work over on the little workstation I have. I have to switch mics so it sounds a little bit better. I got my green light, so that's good. I think I can wear that. We do have a few other stencils that I will show you. These are all on our website, and you would probably come across them. They'll be very similar to when you see the ideas, where mostly they're used like as backgrounds. We have a snow stencil. We have a falling leaf stencil. And I'm just showing you a few. We have a ton more, but just wanted to let you know about some of these. There's a scallop line stencil. This big heart stencil there. And this one is called an abstract pinwheel stencil. So these are fun. Like if you want to make your own background, you can use them for that. I'll show you these samples that I have. I think the sample camera looks good. Let's switch over this. Last week we looked at some of these slim lines. You might have seen some of these from last week. Give me 1 second here. Put that over there. You might have seen some of these last week, so you can see the paw prints on there. They've just used some pattern paper on a slimline card. And here is a rounded corner slimline with, I think that's those dogs are from Friends for Cookie. So you can see the paw prints kind of there on the background. And then we have this nice one. I think that's one of our pudgy dogs, and a jar. That might be jar to stamp. I'm not sure. I don't remember that one. Maybe it says no. It doesn't say on the back. A couple more. And there's our little one of Cookie's friends there. Nice background. And one last one, a little sympathy card. And this uses like an A2 rounded front. Now this is a new die that we have added to our website. We've had some rounded A2 style cards in the past, but we have now just a basic one. If you are new to card making, the A2 rounded, this one right here, is really nice, a really nice card base. We have it just like this with the rounded corners, and then we also have an A2 basic card base that is just the regular square. So if you are new, your A2 card is the most popular and kind of the standard that is used for card making. There's lots of different sizes you can make, but the A2 is the most popular, and we've added these basic ones. They don't come with any extra dies. There's no decorative or words or anything, but it really gives you a good start. So if you need to get started into cards, if you're brand new, those stencils, yes, the ones that I just showed you, these were, who had the question there? Card Stamper. Yes, the ones I just showed you were all singles. There are a variety. There are some, I think, that have 2 or 3 different types of stencils in them. I know the ones that we send out with the Fold It Club, there's usually 2 in each one of those, but those were all singles. You'll just have to check the descriptions. If you go on the page on our website that has all the stencils, it'll tell you how many you get in each one. This one is just one, and I believe all the ones that I showed you were all just one. But again, back to the basic A2 card base. If you want to get one of those are really nice as far as if you are just getting started, because you can do so much with just that basic card base, and then you can decorate it, but it gives you that good foundation. When you go to die cut a card, it's all measured, scored. You don't have to think at all. You just run it through the machine and it comes out perfect just about every time if you line it up on the paper correctly. All right, so that's something you might like. Now we're going to move on. It is kind of graduation season, and I don't have a lot of samples, but I will do a couple die cuts actually with this one. And then I do have one sample to share with you, and we'll check on the website because there will be some more. So I have these links, and let me see if I can find everything here. So this one is called Graduation to Stamp. Let me see if I can find the information for that one. So this one's interesting. It goes a little bit back in time. Graduation to Stamp was originally created in April of 2015. So this is going back quite a bit. And it's been one of our really most popular over time stamp set, because every year there's graduates and maybe you're not prepared for it. And so people kind of scramble to get this one. Well, at first we didn't have the dies for it, but 2 years later we added the die set. And I think that came out in February of, what did I say? February of 2017. So these were a big hit too, because this is all fun and great, but when you can get the dies to go with it, it's even better. So you might like these. Let me find the website. Again, it's kind of graduation season, and a bit of bad news. I don't know when you hear about graduations this time of year. There's some graduations that are unfortunately getting canceled. I guess you've probably heard of like all the protests on the colleges and stuff, but hopefully that won't happen at too many places. But the sad thing is, and I'm going to switch over here to our website. Whoops, not that one. Sorry. The sad thing is, a lot of some of the people who their graduation is getting canceled this year, their graduations were also canceled when they were in high school. So that would be a real bummer if you were never getting that chance to have that experience of graduation, huh? So hopefully that will, excuse me, will not happen to too many people, but I did hear about that happening, and so I feel bad for those people. Hopefully they'll figure out some way where they get to have that experience of having a graduation and getting to, be celebrated kind of. So anyhow, if you go on our website, you'll see the Graduation to Celebrate stamp set, and it is currently out of stock. And I did place an order for this one about 10 days ago. So if you want it, and I think a lot of you will want to hit this little notify me when this product is back in stock. You would click this button right here. And if you would have to sign in, and it will give you a notification when it comes back in stock. I expect it to be back in stock in about 10 to 14 days. So it'll be probably just right in time for graduation celebrations. So I am aware that it's out of stock, but I still wanted you to know about it. It's on order, and we should have it again soon. So let's take a look at some of these ideas. The card samples, very nice and simple. I think these might mostly be from before we had the dies to go with it. But we will look at the dies and we'll see some more recent samples, but these all look nice. And you can see you get, 20 stamps on that one. It's on a 4x6 sheet, and the graduation cap's about 2 inches by 2 inches, pretty close to that. Now, I bet a lot of you already have this. So if you do, don't forget, if it's a graduation season, if you have a graduate, this is a great way to celebrate them. What a nice way to do that. Make them a card, huh? Okay, let's look at the dies. Oh, this one we looked at a few weeks ago, the graduation cap. That's a really nice one. That's a fold it. And then we're going to look at these dies over here. And with the dies you get, this is a set of 6 dies exclusive to the Stamps of Life, it says. By the way, our clear stamps are made in the USA, so they're going to be super high quality, and you got nice impressions. I'm not going to stamp any today, but I will die cut a couple of these pieces. Let's see. Yep, you get all these dies. Couple samples down there. Let's see if we can enlarge that. There we go. So you see all the dies you get. You get this nice number combination here, so you can get any year that you want to add to your card. And here you can see where the dies have been used. It gives the cards a little more interest. I always like to be able to have the dies with it, and you can see kind of how that all pops up. The one sample I have, I will show you right here over on camera 2. We'll switch over to that. This one is made with it's called the triangle box. We'll look at this die set in a couple weeks. I did find a ton of samples using this, but here's one that I found where they added the class number, they die cut the little hat, and then you can put, this opens up in the back. You can add a little gift card in there, a little stash of cash, maybe some way you want to give a gift. That would work perfect for that. So that was the one sample I actually had, but I didn't want to wait too much longer to talk about, let's see. I didn't want to wait too much longer to talk about this set, just because it's kind of the season for graduation. And I wanted you to be aware that you might have it already, and maybe it's something you want to pick up. Let's see what's going on. I think my stream is going pretty good. I hope everybody's, seems like we're doing okay. I see one person who said that they're getting some skipping, Amanda. So if it's not playing well for you, as of right now, my stream's going out really good. You can always like refresh your page or close the tab and reopen a new one. You can try that. Those are the first and easiest options. If you ever have a chance or where like the whole video's not going good, you can always come back and you can watch later. You can simply watch the replay, and those usually come out pretty good. So there's a couple options. If you join us late, again, this is all recorded. You will have a chance to watch it at a later time. And again, I was talking about earlier, we love all your comments. So if you comment, I try my best to answer or respond to most of them that I can. Let's see. So sorry, Jamie, maybe if you want that paw print, if you're the first person to email Faylene, info@thestampsoflife, we'll get that out to you. And I will keep an eye out for extras, but I cannot find any other ones. But I just wanted to give you an idea of all the stencils. They could generally have that kind of look where you can make some nice nice background papers. Let's see how Facebook is doing, because I'm wondering if, oh, we did get a couple other people over there. Great. Welcome, Karen and Beth. Happy to have you here. All right, we are going, oh, I did have a little bit of interesting, where are my facts about graduation? I had some interesting, I like to talk about some of these things. Let's see, I'll open that up and I'll read some facts about graduations. No, it's not that one. No. I have my B facts, but not my, I need my, there we go. All right. The tossing of the graduation hat, in case you didn't know, is a tradition that signifies or symbolizes the flight of the graduates to whatever awaits them. So I guess it's like you're free from college and all this school. Now you get to go do whatever you want. Ha ha ha. Like start paying bills and that kind of stuff, right? So that's part of it. It says, so the first graduations. Wow. Let's see. Maybe back in like the 1300s, and you have the robes and everything because that's kind of what the teachers wore. And so the students were kind of imitating their professors. And I also heard like back then there were not heaters and a lot of things were made out of stone. Things were cold. So these robes were worn just as something to keep you warm too. Let's see. What else? A lot of it is connected to the song, the Pomp and if I can say this, Pomp and Circumstance song. You know, the graduation song was first composed in 1901 and started kind of getting played. It says in Princeton in 1907, Chicago 1908, Columbia 1913, Rutgers 1918. So it kind of just grew and grew and grew with that song. That would be a familiar song. The board, the cap that you wear, I guess when you're, let's see, that again is modeled, what does it say? Church dignitaries wore caps like this. And the tassel was added, it says, in the 19th century. And it says when your tassel is on the right side, that means you have not yet graduated. When you get your diploma, when you are officially a graduate, you get to move it to the left. So that's a couple things about graduation. My question would be for you, I think I asked before, like what year did you graduate? I think I asked that last time, but what else? Oh, are any of you planning on going to a graduation this year? The last graduation I went to, it's been a while, I think was my daughter Kirsten from college, and that would be just about maybe 7-8 years ago. So it's been a little while. Is anybody having a graduation party or a graduation celebration coming up? Do you know any graduates? I think last year we had a family member who graduated from college. That was great. And then we had a party at their house, but I didn't go to the graduation ceremony. Katie did graduate, but she did not want to actually walk or attend the ceremony, so that was her choice. But the college graduations, the classes are usually really, really big, and there are a ton of graduates, and they can last a long, long time. Like they have to name every person. So yep, Beverly's got a kindergarten graduation. Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe there's a junior high or a high school. Arla graduated in 1961. Arla was at high school or college. I graduated in 1986 from high school. And that was a long time ago. I actually just drove by my high school, I think this last weekend. We just happened to be in the area and going down that street. And you know what? It was just an old school in what city? Huntington Beach. And they made it out of brick, red brick. And you know what? It still looks the same way it did when I went to school there. It's funny how things kind of shrink down a little bit. That's the one thing I noticed, that some of the sizes, things that used to seem so large or much more grand, were now kind of condensed. I'm sure it was the same exact size, but in my mind, I'm like, wow, that seems a lot smaller than it used to be. Have any of you gone by your high school lately? Has it changed a lot? Is it still there? It could have been torn down. I don't think my high school, again, since it's just made out of bricks, I don't think it's ever going to change. I think that is, whoever built that, they've got probably a couple 100-year window on making that work. So what does your old high school look like? Do you live close to it? Have you seen it recently? Okay, you can answer that question. Any graduations? I see class of 76, a couple graduates. Great. Anybody celebrating any graduations this year? Has anybody been by their old high school recently? Just a couple of things, fun things to talk about. All right, I'm going to show you real quick. I will die cut a couple of these. Let me switch over my camera and my mic. That's almost there. So I'm going to turn that mic off. on. Hopefully you can hear me. Yes, I think I've got some sound there. Let me turn that down just a tad bit because this mic is a little bit higher. One up. Okay, I'll move over. Make sure I do that. Great. Okay, we've got our dies from the graduation die set. And I did have some paper. Let me see, what did I do with that? Oh, I got to get my light on here. Sorry, it's a little dark. Let me fix these lights. Get that lit up a little bit. Bring that over. And I'm going to turn this up just maybe a tad. See what happens here. Exposure. See that. Okay, brighten things up a little bit. That's better. We have our dies. I'll go ahead and I'll cut the cap out here. And then we have the little diploma scroll. That piece, I don't know what it does. Oh, the numbers will do those too. Well, these are super easy to use. For me, the hardest part is usually getting these dies out of the packaging because they really tape them down good. And then the tape sticks to the top. And then they're just kind of stuck in there. Make sure we're doing okay. So we've got our dies. And let me find that paper. Now, I try my best to use scraps. So I have some old scrap papers from last week. Remember, we looked at the guitar. So I still have the scrap sheets from there. I'm going to run these through. And we will, since usually, now they do have school colors. They said that was one of the things, not until like the 1950s, that schools started to add colors to the graduation. Prior to that, it seemed like it was all black. Black robes, black hats. But in the 50s, I don't know why at that time period, it says that I read one of the facts that they started to add school colors. Now, I have to be a little careful because I'm kind of on the edge there. And we'll run that one through real quick. Back to my squeaking here. We don't want to have too much squeaking. And we don't have to run that all the way through. We're just doing a little tiny die. And let's see how we did with that. So there's my little hat. The little graduation cap. Where am I? There we are. That was easy. And then say I wanted to do some numbers. So I could use this. And this is the one that will create all the numbers. So this will be kind of, we'll see how the numbers come out. It has all the different ones. So you might have to run it through a couple different times to get the combination that you need. So if it's 2024, you're going to need two number twos. There's only one number 2 on there, so you'd have to run it through twice to get that. Let's see what happens when we run these through. We'll use this kind of silver metallic type paper. Again, just some scraps that I had. Maybe you have a pile of scraps. It's fun to use them up when you use them for smaller dies. Get a little more bang for your buck, right? If you find ways to use your scrap page, it saves you a little money. And I always like to just, for myself, I like to try to maximize the use of all the things that I have. So these kind of make I lost at least one number down there. Let's see, what else did I have? Okay, I've got my dies over here. I haven't lost those. So cut them out of there. Let's see what it produced. So we've got the numbers. Most of these are, this is just going to be like the 1 and the 2, you can pretty much make out. Maybe the 0, let's see, I'll try to get those over there. A 5. So some of these you could probably use, like if you needed a 2 and a 1, that's good. But some of these are just kind of like the shadow. So what you would be doing in order to really make this come out, you'd want to stamp these first. And then, well, you could do either way. You could stamp them first and then run the die over it. You just lay your die over each number as you need it. It looks like you might have to do one or two. I think you would just run it through a bunch of different times and create a bunch of the backgrounds. That would be my preference. And then you would go and stamp onto these. This probably would not be good for stamping because it's like I'm not sure how the ink would stay on this metallic paper. But if I would have ran it through just a plain cardstock like that, you would be able to stamp onto that. So I would think, for me personally, because I like to stamp first, and die cut first, then stamp. I would die cut these numbers out, then I would go back and stamp them with this. If you're really good at die cutting and you feel really confident, you could stamp first onto your paper like this, and then you could run it through your machine. Just make sure you have it really lined up. But the way the numbers are setting up, you're probably going to have to do that a few different times to get the right number of combination, especially if you are trying to line it up with something you have already stamped. So that will take a little extra work, something you would want to play with. So if you have that, it is easy to use. You saw the hat we created. That one was fun. Comes with a few extra pieces, the diploma there. It's got some sentiments. Congrats to the grad. The tassel is worth the hassle. You did it, and then you get class of, and you can add your class number in there. So that is a lot of fun. Graduation time, think about that. If you have it, use it. If you don't have it, the dies are on the website. The dies are on the website. Let me switch back over here. Where am I? There we go. The dies are on the website right now, but the stamps are not. So you will want to hit that little notification button. It will tell you when they're back in stock. When we saw that on the page for the stamps, they should be back in again about 10 to 14 days, I would guess. Okay, we are moving on. Our next collection is a flower. It is a 5x7 flower folded. Let me fix up some things here and make some more room. And let me switch that little. So this is from February of 2021, about 3 years ago. So not too far back. Good chance that you might have this flower. You'll definitely want to, it's springtime, it's a good time to use it. It creates a folded 5x7 size, and I do have some good samples to share with you. We'll die cut that. I'll show you. We've done the foldeds before, but I'll show you again how easy it is to make, and we'll work on that. This is the 5x7 flower folded. On one of the samples, I saw this little bee. So it made me think, hey, you know how we're always talking about some of the fun facts, that different things. So I thought we would bring up the bees today. Bees are important. Let me see. I have a page here that has a bunch of fun facts for bees. I know they have problems. Whoops, wrong one. They have problems with not enough bees nowadays, I've heard. And I know every once in a while here at our warehouse, I'll see not a whole bunch, but bees just randomly they're dying. I don't know why. But they'll be out in our warehouse. We have a big parking lot, and I'll just see them laying all around on the ground. So there's some kind of problem with bees. Let's see. So bees, some of the fun facts I have about them. They have 5 eyes and 6 legs. I could imagine the 6 legs, but look at our little bee. He only has 2 eyes. So anyway, they have 5 eyes. The honeybees live in a hive or a colony, and there's the queen. That's the one who makes tons of eggs. I think the information's in here for the bees. Tons of eggs. There's the queen, the workers, the drones. The workers, I think they defend the hive, and they go out and they actually pollinate with the flowers and the crops and all that kind of stuff. So they're super important. And what else do the workers do? I think they produce the honey and the beeswax, but there's these drones, which are kind of like the male ones. They're just around there, and then I think they help the queen with the eggs, and then they die or they get kicked out of the nest. I don't remember, but the drones are like not that important as compared to the queen is the most important, and then the workers. It says there are more than 20,000 species of bees. That's a lot. And bees can see, and again, these are one of these things. How do they know this? Bees can see all colors except red. And they have a great sense of smell that helps them find flowers where they collect the pollen. And then an average beehive can have 50,000 bees in it. Wow, 50,000. I've never seen I've seen them like at the fair where they keep the bees in a case where they have the hive in there, and you can see the wax and the honeycomb and all that stuff. So that's kind of fun. But I don't think I've ever seen one like in the wild. We'll have a short video just before our good news section where there's this company or this lady, she goes out and she finds bees in weird places and she tries to save them and get them to a location where they can thrive a little bit. So we'll watch, that's just a short video. We'll watch that in a little bit. Each bee has 170 odorant receptors. So that's how they smell. Like, I don't know if it's little antennas or what, but they can smell really good. The worker bees go from one flower to another. They collect the nectar. Let's see. Ooh, I can't see that one. If on one trip out, a bee might visit 50 to 100 flowers. They are very busy. And it says, what else? The queen bee can lay up to 2,500 eggs in one day. Wow. I saw before that the average is something like 1,000 to 1,500 when it's actually kind of like bee season for them to grow. But that's a lot of eggs. And what else? Bee facts. Let's see. Honeybees are great flyers. They can fly up to, I guess this would be about 15 miles per hour. And get this, their wings, they flap at 200 times per second. Wow. And so when you hear that noise, the kind of buzzing from the bees, that is actually their wings flapping. That's what I understand. And it takes, once an egg is laid, it says it takes 21 days for that egg to develop into a full adult bee. Let's see, what else? So again, we're having problems. We don't have enough bees, they say. 90% of the bees have been disappearing. Wow. So if you know a way to save the bee, try. I don't know, I don't know what the bee situation is, but I do like the honey. One of the things it says like one bee can only create like in a lifetime is, I don't know, is something like half a teaspoon of honey. So they do a lot of work and the production is really low. But I guess we do need more bees, yeah. Bees are good. Of course, I think I've been stung by a bee, or was it a wasp? That doesn't feel good, but one thing, when a bee stings, it says that only the female bees can sting, the worker ones. Once they sting you, then they're goners, they die. So I think that's enough bee information, but I thought that'd be something to talk about while we have. Has anybody ever had an experience with bees? That would be my question for you today. Have you ever had a beehive yourself, or maybe around your house where you had to call for a company to come out and remove it? Any experience that you want to share about bees? Go ahead and add it into our chat, or if you see this at a later time, you can add it to our comments down below. Let's see. So we want to look at these samples. Again, this is the 5x7 flower fold it. I will find it on our website. And I will let you see what we've got over there. There's a nice video, of course, to go with it. And that should switch over. Great. And I think I can bring myself up there. There we are. You'll see a bunch of nice card samples. Double click or triple click on that. I think I have some of these in person too, and you can scroll through the different card samples. And there's an idea. You can kind of layer it and add it to a flower pot. I thought that was nice, a different way to use it. There's a little bit of layering along. I think that's with our love bug stamps and our bird stamp. We'll be looking at this stamp set in a couple of weeks. I have the stamps and dies for that. I think it's called Birds to Stamp. And I have a lot of great card samples, so that is something to look forward to. I don't have it on really an official schedule, but we'll look at that collection in a couple weeks. Some ideas where you can make a little stuffy type out of it. And then back to our regular set. So let's take a look at my card samples here. And a lot of these are, I think, are ones that we did see on the website. Again, the fold-its are super easy. Let's see, I'll try to figure out how these open. So it will tell you on the flower where the best option is to do your fold. But here's one that opens to the side. Now most of the fold-it flowers can open to the top or to the side, either way you like. This one again is on the side. And that's with our love bugs, and it's kind of layered there. I like that one. Here's a pink dark background with a little bit lighter front. And I was trying to figure out some ways to add a little more room for you to write in there. You're a little bit limited on space. So this is not the color that I would want to choose, but I was trying to look for a way to add a little circle in there. If you match it right, I think it might look kind of nice. Now this has dots on the circle, so you might want to do a solid, but you could maybe think of some color that will coordinate with it nicely. You could add a circle on the inside, and that would give you a little bit more space to add your sentiments or your greetings, whatever you like. That's just something I thought about. I hadn't really worked with it a lot, but I just was trying to see how it would work out. It does show a little bit, so again, maybe the yellow doesn't really match with this flower, but you could add a color that you like to give yourself a little more room for your sentiments on the inside. Just a thought. Here it's mixed with, this is our flower pot folded, and I think that's one of our pudgy birds. And this one is based on the flower pot, so it's opening from the top. And you have lots of extra space if you were to use that combination to write in there. And then there's just one more little sample. I don't even think they did this as a fold-it. Let me double check. So if you were just to do a regular flower like this, not as a fold-it, you could add it to a scrapbook page. You could make maybe a banner out of it. Lots of different things that you could do with that. You know, imagine you have a banner with a bunch of different types of flowers. So that would be a nice spring look. You could add it if you have a calendar. You could slap some of these flowers on there, you know, April flowers and May flowers. It's a nice time of the year to use that. And then, of course, you could use it as a greeting card. Oh, let's get back over here to me. I'm going to go ahead and open up this die set and run it through real quick just to show you how we can do this. Super easy. Break that out. It has 3 dies, 4 pieces it says. So the little center, you have a shadow and a centerpiece, a couple layers there, and then you have your main dies. And I will show you how to run this through the machine. It has, let's see if we can see, these were hard for me even to locate. The writing on here is, so right there on the back side, you can see where it says place fold here. So that's one option. I think there's another spot here too. I think it's on the other side, the opposite side. So you have different options. You could do your flower this way, or this way you can rotate it around. You have a lot of freedom. You can really do the fold on any side you want, just depending on how you want your flower to look. So a lot of freedom with that one. Let's go ahead and die cut it. Back over here to my die cutting table. Great. Turn that one off. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Yep. All right, I'm over here at the table and I've got my die. Let's see. We will, for some reason I have a lot of this. I think it's strawberry cardstock. So you see a lot of my die cutting used with this because I'm trying to use up this paper. I have so much of it. I'm going to go ahead and take this and I will fold it in half. Make sure I kind of get that as even as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. The most important part is this, your fold right here. And I'm going to score it a little bit, just so we have the best results possible. So there's my scored card. And so I see right there that it's telling me here's one option for my fold. Now I see that I'm getting close to the edge there, and that looks like it'll work. I might get a double. Yeah, so we'll make it a side fold there. Let's go ahead and run that through the machine. Again, if you are not familiar with fold-its, they are super, super easy. I've shown you a lot of fold-its in these episodes, and you can tell it probably is my favorite type of card just because, whoops, what's going on here? This is where I need my wah, wah, wah button. I only had one cutting pad. That's not going to do any good. So I was starting to run it through there, and it was just going through too easy. I was like, what? You got to have two cutting pads. Kind of makes like a sandwich, right? That's the idea, a sandwich. You have to have your cutting pad below, then your cardstock, then your die, and then another cutting pad. So if I had my blooper sound effects, that would have been one of those right then, like a buzzer, wah, 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 or what else? Boing, that's a good one, right? I could just make my own sound effects today. We're going to run that through. Now I'm doing this a little bit extra off the edge just so you can really have a good look. So I can also show you how we'll fix that. I'm going to run that through there. Good. Machine was a little more quiet that time. And I'm going to bring that over here. Should have a nice cut there. And I know because my cutting pads are a little bit warped that I have to play with this a little bit extra to make sure that it comes out clean. And I think that's, again, just because my pages are a little bit warped. So there I have my flower as far as I have the nice fold, but I have these straight edges. You can't have a flower with a straight edge like that, right? So we want to fix that. How are we going to do that? We're just going to run this through again without a fold this time. And this next die cut that we create is just going to layer right over there. If I can line it up, it will just layer right over the top, and it will fix that problem. We'll be able to get rid of those straight edges. So let's do that one more time through, and we'll get red again, our strawberry. And so I've got that. Bring my, this time I have two cutting pads, good, right? I've got my cardstock. I won't fold it this time. I don't need a fold. I just need to run this same exact die that I just used, but this time we're not going off the edges. We want a nice flower cut, no folds. And line that up on there and run that through. And you can see how easy this is. So this was one time through for my folded base. Second time through, it's going to create a full flower. And in order to fix our problem with the straight edges, we're just going to take this and we would adhere this. If I can get it lined up right. I remember Stephanie always having a hard time with this. Now I know what it's like trying to get these guys to line up when it's not perfect square. So you have to keep rotating it around until I find out. There's the one that matches. So I would take that. I will go ahead and show you how I'll do it. We'll add a little adhesive here. Do a couple strips to keep things sped up. I would have that with the straight edges. I want to get rid of that. How am I going to do that? I'm just going to add this right on top. So now we have a nice shaped flower. We don't have to see that the straight edges from the fold. It covers that, takes away that problem, right? Then if you want, you can, I won't do this right now. We have the layer that will cut a
layer that can go on top, so you can get the different look. So you can see how this one has a pink background and some green for the flower leaves. Same thing here. Now maybe I have this dark red, and now I want the layer to be pink. So you have the option to mix and match different colors, and you can do all kinds of fun stuff with the centers. And then how I had thought, you do have some space to write on the inside, but it is a little bit limited. So if you have a circle die, probably most of you have those already, you could at least try and test it out. Cut some circles, maybe with a color that would kind of coordinate with your flower, and see if you like that. You could test it. You don't have to add it in there, but switch the different colors in and out, different sizes of the circles you might have, and see if there's one that works if you want some extra space to write on the inside of your card. And then of course you can add, use your personalized stamp for the back, stamped by, created by, you could add that all to the back. But very super easy. Again, this is the 5x7 flower folded. So to mail these, you would have to have a larger size envelope. Let me get back over here to my desk. Where am I? Whoops, off. On. There we go. So you would need a little bit larger size envelope for that one, okay? So that is our 5x7 flower folded, and I think that is about it for all our presentation today. Again, we had been talking about the bees. I'm going to try to pull up this bee video. Let's see if I can get it to work. Tons of bees, this lady. Again, I think it's a business because I've seen she has quite a few videos. But she'll come out and round up bees for you. So I think maybe she's in Texas. But I'm sure wherever you are, there are probably people who go out, and if you ever have bees around your property or something like that, they would help you out. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, I think I got it. Let's see. I'm going to try to reset that and then pause it. Look. I'm going to try to reset that one more time.
The suitcase was full of bees, so I opened it up and I found a beautiful hive.
Hang on, give me one more second. I think I can do this.
I have a lot of bees who were very gentle.
Like an interesting video. Let me read. There's no commercials, so that's good. Okay, so this she must be a beekeeper. She does this stuff, but she finds this hive of bees actually growing in a suitcase. Interesting, right? And somehow she gets them to move. I don't know how they do it to keep the bees all calm and everything, but she has some kind of smoke thing, and kind of helps calm the bees down or something. So I will play this video, hopefully. Let me try to get that camera to switch over, and I'll make sure we have enough sound. Oh, I have double mics going. Sorry, guys. I saw that. Sorry about that. Are you getting the echo? Sorry. I think I just turned that off. Hopefully the echo is gone. Sorry. Hopefully that's better. Let's see. Let's go ahead and play that. I think I can do it now. We're going to switch over to the bee video. And if you go on YouTube or I haven't been on TikTok, but if you go on YouTube, Facebook, maybe if you just type in bees, you can find all kinds of crazy videos. But I saw this one, and it was kind of interesting since we were talking about bees today. And again, they are important to us. Let's go ahead and watch this video. And I'll see if I can get the sound on there. And I will turn this sound up. I think she talks kind of soft, so I'm going to, we need that sound on, sorry. And I'm going to turn that up a little bit, and we'll watch the video. It's about a minute.
So I opened it up and I found a beautiful old hive. This hive didn't have any food or brood, but it did have a lot of bees who were very gentle unless you were a threat to the colony like this wasp. I watched as the bees defended their colony and eliminated the wasp. Then I picked up the suitcase full of bees, I loaded it into my truck, and I took the bees home with me. Then it was time to move the bees out of the suitcase and into the new hive. So I gave the bees some smoke, and they all started to leave the suitcase and march into the new hive because they knew it was a better place for them to live. So I waited and watched to see if I could find the queen bee in the crowd, and when most of the bees were out of the suitcase, All of a sudden, I saw the queen bee walking into the new hive. So I gave the rest of the bees some smoke, and the entire colony moved out of the suitcase, and it was another great day of saving the bees.
There she is.
The suitcase was full of bees, so I opened it up and I found
when you watch all the different videos, she finds these, let me turn that off. She finds these bees in all kinds of weird locations and they get into some odd spots. But I guess there's a way to calm them down and keep them under control. I don't know what that smoke stuff does. I guess I would have to read about it. But something kind of interesting. So if you are a fan of bees, you can find tons of stuff about them on the internet. Bees do not like wasps. You're right. That's for sure. Okay, we kind of have started our good news section. We're wrapping things up. This will be short today. If you have your Bible, let me go ahead and switch that off. I will add our verse up here first. So if you are in Mark chapter 10, the one verse we are looking at here is, it says that then they brought the little children to him, that's Jesus, that they might touch them, that he might touch them. But the disciples rebuked those who brought them. But when Jesus saw it, he was greatly displeased. So we want to talk about that just for a minute. The last couple times we had talked about this passage, let me find myself here again, hopefully. There I am. We had talked about how Jesus was very welcoming to children. He said later on in this verse, verse 14, he had said that if you want to kind of be a part of God's kingdom, you have to become more like a child. So I know last week we had thought about that, about how can, where did I go here? Oh, I can find myself here. We had talked about, nope, not that one. There we are. We had talked about how can we become more like children? So that was one thought we thought about. And we talked about just the simplicity of believing, trusting God, simple faith. Of course, is it okay to have some questions and not understand everything? Yes, we had talked about that these are things that we're going to have natural. And God, I'm sure, expects us to have questions. Remember, God is really big and great and awesome, and we're kind of limited, so we can't understand everything about him. So Jesus is just asking for us to have that childlike faith. And then the prior week we had talked about how there was touch. Jesus would take the kids up onto his he welcomed them. It says he put his hands on them. Sometimes it says sounds like he was holding them and he blessed them. And so we talked about that, kind of affirming people, especially kids, through touch or blessings. Those are great things that we can do. The last thing I wanted to talk about was what we had just read today. Let's see if I can get that back on. It says that Jesus was greatly displeased. So it sounds like the disciples were trying to keep the kids away from Jesus. And something that I thought is important for us to note is that there are many times that Jesus warns us about things. And I think it's very important that we take notice of his warnings. I know when we talked about prayer a couple months ago that he had said that, we shouldn't be like the people who go out and pray in public. It's okay to pray in public, but their motive was to get noticed, or people who did good works so that people might praise them. We shouldn't do those things. There are warnings that Jesus gives us. And so whenever we see these warnings, I think we should really take note of it. Well, this one, it says that Jesus was very displeased with them. And he said, do not forbid the children to come to him. So for me, I also found a passage that kind of coordinates this, because I was trying to think about it a little bit more. And I know in Matthew, it's Matthew chapter 18, verse 6, Jesus develops this a little bit more. I think it's the same passage, but rather than Mark's version, this is in Matthew 18. Jesus said, but whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Pretty strong. So Jesus is saying, if I try to keep kids away from him, it would be almost like better off if I were not even alive. That's pretty strong warning from Jesus, that if we have kids in our lives, I think it's very, very important that we look for ways to bring our kids, our grandkids to Jesus. Maybe as you have a nephew or cousin, or maybe it's even a family friend. If you have some way to influence kids and point them to Jesus, that's what we want to do. We don't want to be the kind of people, remember how the kids usually kind of have that childlike faith, whether they're just open and they believe in God and they receive his words. They might have questions, but they're not like adults where they're skeptical or they want to start rejecting these things, but they're more open to it. Well, we want to help these kids to come to Jesus. So whereas the disciples were, it sounds like they were trying to keep the kids away from God, God is just the opposite. It says, the kingdom of God is made up kind of people who are like kids. And so we want to welcome the kids into God's kingdom. And for us, we have the responsibility of teaching the kids about Jesus, sharing the gospel with them, encouraging them. They're the next generation of the church, right? Us older people, we're not going to be around here forever. And we got to start thinking about the future of what God's church will look like. And how better than can we do that than to start sharing with our kids or grandkids, the younger people who are in our lives. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. And I think God will bless that. If we really have a heart to connect kids to God's kingdom, I think we will really, really do well in that. God's church will always go on, but we really want to see it expand. We want to see our family members have a relationship with God, that they can know that God loves them and cares about them, that there's a reason that they're here on earth. They're not just here by chance, but God wants to work in their lives. He wants to bless and do great things through each one of them. And so that would be, again, just a short summary of this. We will leave this passage, but I want you to know that since God really values these kids, we need to do the same thing. And so maybe that's something we could be praying about. We can ask, hey, God, how can I direct these children to a deeper relationship with you, the kids that are in my life? Or maybe you don't have any kids in your life. Maybe you could ask God to put some kids into your life and you would have a chance to impact their lives. Maybe you don't know any kids, and maybe there's not any chance to have any kids around in your life. You can be praying for kids. You know some elementary school. You maybe know some kids in the neighborhood. Maybe you don't directly interact with these people, but you can pray for them, and there will be a powerful impact if you're praying for the kids. I think God will really, really do something awesome in their life. So look for ways that you can do that. I know it's something that God wants us to do, and something that we should have on our hearts. The kids are important to God and his kingdom, so let's make sure that they are important to us as well. And besides making sure that the kids know that God loves them, I want you guys to know that each and every one of you are very, very important to God, and that he does love you very, very much. And he does want to do special things with your lives. Now, sometimes you'll feel like God's really super close, and sometimes you might feel like God's just not there. But this is where we develop our faith, right? You can know that. You can have confidence in that God loves you and he's going to be there for you. He's your Father in heaven. He's going to take care of you. Sometimes I feel like I say these things over and over, but it's important things to reinforce that God really does love you and cares about you, each and every one of you, no matter how you feel or no matter the experiences you've had in life. You can have confidence in that, right? And I can have confidence that too. And it makes me have a different perspective on life when we totally understand that, right? Okay, that is it. I am going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for joining me. Like this video if you liked it, and share it. Add some comments later. I know that around noon today, there will be some posts on Facebook we do the guessing game for the theme of this month's stamps and dies. That's going to get posted on Facebook and I think on Instagram. You'll see a little post that says, hey, can you guess the theme of this month? Make sure you guess, because I am going to choose one random winner to get a $10 Stamps of Life gift certificate. All right, so one winner, and it's just going to be a random. You don't have to guess, make the right guess, just participate. We want to see how many people we can get to add their comments in there. I will choose one winner from those posts, and they'll come up again, I think, at noon today. So that's 12 p.m. Pacific. It'll be 3 p.m. if you're like on East Coast time. Watch for those posts. Add your comment if you think you know what the theme is. If you don't, just post your best guess, and then I will pick a winner. And maybe Thursday night I'll announce the winner on Crafting Corner. And so, thinking of Crafting Corner, I saw that. Let's see. Amanda said she'll see us on Thursday. I will see you guys on Thursday. We'll have Stephanie's Crafting Corner. We'll have brand new items to look at that are being released tonight and tomorrow on the website. And then when this video, if you want to know where you can post, wait till this video ends, and then there'll be a comment section. You can add your comments down there. Maybe, whatever you're thinking. If you want to say something about God's word or your relationship with God, or how you think of kids, or something about our bee talk or our dies and stamps that we spoke about, add any comments you want there. We love it. And tell a friend. I know my viewerships have kind of been going down. So I thank you for all those of you who have been sticking with me, but I'm going to keep doing this, and it doesn't really matter, certainly the certain number of people who watch or view, but just to have you guys here with me. And I hope this has a positive impact on your life as we open up God's word, as we talk about crafting and having fun and just doing things that help us to enjoy life, right? So that's the main point of all of this. But thanks again for joining me. I am going to sign off right now. Let's see. I think everything's going there. I'm going to do one more run over here at Facebook. Yeah, Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Wendy was there. Great. Deborah. I did get rid of my echoing. Sorry about that, guys. I usually have one little thing that kind of goes crazy each episode. Last week's was really super good. This week we just kind of had that one echo. Okay, that's it. Take care. See you Thursday. I am out of here, back to work. I have videos to edit. I don't think I have anything to ship today. Lots of video, lots of computer work to do. So have a great day. Thanks for joining us here on Take Two Tuesday. I'll see you next week for Take Two Tuesday again, and Thursday for Crafting Corner. The website has new items tonight. God bless each and every one of you. Thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye. Whoops, not that one. Let me fix that. That's not a bad way to go out, right? Having a Bible verse there. So let me see if I can still fix it. I should say Take Two Tuesday. What happened? Oh, come on. This is where it always takes me longer than it should. There we go. I did it. All right, bye.